That's how we always go.
All right. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello.
Good. How are
Hey,
you?
Now I know y'all are coordinating something between you and Danny. Do y'all have that? Do you have that, Rosie? I don't know.
Yeah, Danny is gonna share his information. So we have a special guest today. Hi, everyone. We are back again on our Monday Live, and we have Daniel Tercy today. And he is our very valuable asset when it comes to real estate investing. And we are going to actually talk about high performance habits today. Now, before I go into that, we want you all to have a high performing real estate. And one of the things that I have seen people benefit definitely from is what Daniel has to offer. So, Daniel, take it away and share with us what do you do and how do we become unstoppable when we work with you?
yeah. So, hey, everybody. My name's Daniel Tercy. I work with Directed IRA. So we are a preferred vendor vendor for the Big Dog Group and for Rosie and everybody. So people come to us to open up IRAs. I know that doesn't sound sexy, and you guys are all probably thinking, I already have an IRA. I can't do real estate. What are you talking about? REITs? No, I'm talking about self-directed IRAs where you can actually take your retirement funds and invest them in the things that you guys know best. Real estate, right? How about hard money lending so that you can get those flips done with other people's money? So this is what a self-directed IRA can do with my company. Now, I don't want to bash on all the other retirement accounts. Okay, if you have a retirement account, that's good. It's good to diversify, have some stocks, bonds, mutual funds, but grow your money with real estate. Grow your money with the hard money lending. Get that 16, 20, 50% on those home runs, right?
Yep.
And you can do that with my company by just leveraging us as the custodian and then finding the deals on your own and going out and investing that money and keeping everything, by the way, tax-free. So those deals that you might make 50% on outside of your retirement account, how much of it goes to Uncle Sam? In
A
your
lot,
retirement account,
a lot
in your
of it.
retirement account, it all goes back in. It all goes back in. And
Daniel,
you get,
I
yeah,
feel like Uncle Sam is like an invisible employee that
yeah,
just gets paid at the end of the year. He
yeah,
just sits
yeah,
there quietly, waits for you to make the money and say, "Here you go. Give me
yeah.
my cut. Just give it to me.
Yeah,
Just give
here's
it
my
to me."
fee for allowing you to live here. That's it.
Yeah. How about for allowing you to breathe?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy, but these also another thing that I always like to bring up because a lot of times when I talk to real estate investors, they're always like, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do it in I don't want to do that in my IRA. I'm fine doing it the way that what about other people, right? What if you need money to help you on a deal and that person's like, I would love to do that, but I don't have any money. I just left my job, but I don't have any money. Oh, well, what about your 401k? What are you doing with that? Oh, you can't invest in real estate with that. Yeah, actually, call up Daniel Tercy. He can help you out with setting up this account. I only need $40,000 of your 150 you have in this wasted 401k that's not even doing anything right now. Set it up with him and he'll be able to give it to you. I can give you, 12 points or 2 points up front, 12%. I'll get it done in 9 months. You can set all that stuff up. You can get creative on these things.
Yeah.
And then for the people who are like, I don't have a lot of money in it, or I want to set one up and that's fine. Just get enough money in there for an earnest money deposit and assign it to somebody. Find somebody else that can do it and just take an assignment fee and
Yeah.
just start growing it that way. You don't have to do these big home runs right off the bat.
Yeah. Certainly. Daniel, I think a lot of people get intimidated by some technical words like, IRA, like Roth IRA, and then stocks, bonds, hedge funds, blah, blah, blah. I feel like sometimes things are just made complicated, so people just don't do it. And it
Yeah.
takes an expert like you to just come in and shine some light on the complexity and just realize that all you need is a good contact and they do it all for you. Like if you guys are curious about IRA and the ways you can protect your assets and do better investments, I would suggest hit up Daniel. And Daniel, if you would be so kind to just share your information,
Well,
Roger passed it on the
we
screen.
just, we just did. I posted it in there.
Oh, you did. Perfect. Awesome.
Mhm.
So I love it. And Daniel, so today we're actually going to be talking about high performance habits. We love you, we respect you, and if you have time to hang out, you're here. And at any time you have to go to the next commitment, we will just know that you have said a lovely goodbye to us. So we're actually going to transition into our next
Thank
conversation
you,
for the
guys.
week. Bye, Daniel. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye bye. Awesome. Thanks.
I'll see you guys on this Friday. See you
Okay.
guys this Friday.
Yeah.
All right. Bye bye.
Cool. And so, Rosie, I had a question, and maybe I could have asked Daniel this, but what type of people, what type of personalities do you think they are that are going to go out and do something like this, like tap into their IRA to invest in real estate?
The people who are playing a long-term game. People who understand that this is not a get rich overnight scheme and get poor overnight scheme. You know, like stocks, I made $600,000 and I lost it all very next year, right? So it's not like that. It's reliability. It is predictability. And you're able to delegate it to an expert who's going to just do it for you. You know, everybody has retirement accounts, and I feel like Roth IRA and IRA assets are very not often talked about as much as they should be. So people who are thinking long term, you know. And one of the biggest mistakes I think people do is they look at it and they start beating themselves up on saying, "Oh my gosh, I could have done this sooner than later," right? Like the biggest complaint we have, Bree, in our real estate is, "Why didn't you tell me to buy more?" Well, we did. Well, you were not listening.
Yeah. Well, you know, the reason why I was asking that question was because it definitely seems like you have to have a vision for where you're going and be able to take risk and do things kind of outside the box.
Yeah.
Typically, people are hesitant when it comes to these things.
Yeah.
I'm reminded by something my cousin told me a long time ago. He says, you know, it's all a big facade. Nothing's really as complex once you really start to work at it, but you have to take the first step.
Agreed.
So today we'll be reading or going through the book High Performance Habits. And I would love to make this very, I guess, what do you call it, a interactive experience.
I'm loving these little slide switches you're having today, huh? Somebody got more skilled.
Well, you know, it's implementing high performance habits, right?
I'm going to track that you're doing it.
Yeah.
Bree just got up.
Somebody to track for me.
Wait, and Roger's going to track that he's not tracking.
Yeah.
You know what a cop out. Oh, I'm tracking that I'm not tracking.
I actually tracked today. So
what did you track?
I tracked all the activities that I performed yesterday. So I did that today, you know, like.
So what you're tracking is what you're doing in a day.
And what I'm realizing is if I track in the morning, and the very first thing, if I do, my very first thing is just tracking quickly before I start my day, then it's a perfect time because all the way until the very last minute of each day, you're getting the most out of it. And I think, Bree, you know, you probably realize when we're going for steps, like I've been seeing steps and
I know.
Park. Yeah.
I fell off the, okay, confession to make. So 3 days, Bree, like we have been like looking at each other's steps, right? I'm staying encouraged by looking at it. And we had to go to Dallas for a family event. The 3 days I couldn't do my steps. I didn't even look at the groups. I don't want to know who did it. I don't want to know how much I didn't do it. How many other places do we just turn our face away from when we know we're not? I had an aha moment.
No, it's true. You know, guys, the same thing happened to me on Sunday. I was showing homes all day, literally not showing the homes for 3 hours, but driving 3 hours.
Yeah.
In the cars and then showing homes in between. Right. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I didn't do my steps on Sunday. I was like, I got home. I was like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
It rolls around. I'm doing things. And I'm like, it's like 7:30. And I'm like, I didn't hit my steps. And I was like, oh, but I didn't hit my steps the other days. What if they're looking at Step Up? Because I haven't really been looking at Step Up, but I was like, they're really looking. Damn it. So I got on my treadmill, walking along and watching my TV show. And then I was like, oh, I was like, oh, I'm at 8,000. That's really, that's my goal, right?
My-
But I was like, can I do another 20 minutes? And I was like, yeah, F it, I'll do it.
Oh,
And I did.
Oh, those are the best moments when we get to do it, right?
Yeah, it felt good. Then I was like, okay, now I can like sleep well at night knowing I did 10,000.
for everyone that's known about this hack, hats off to you. But really, what I'm realizing from our collaboration on our goals is how much being in the proper tribe, being in the right tribe, and how this cohesiveness really causes us to perform at a higher level.
Yeah, because someone's gonna be seeing what you're doing.
Yeah, it's definitely the element of tribe. So I get that. I just recently last week started cold plunging, jumping into the pool outside, and I'm telling you,
Oh my God, cold plunging in this weather?
yeah, in this weather in the pool.
Yes, it's so much.
When I cross past the people that are going to the pool and about to jump in, we like eyeball each other and kind of like, we're like, yeah, you're one of me, and crazies. And so it's really neat how that works.
We were in Dallas, and the place we were staying at, they had this unique shower where it tells you the temperature of the water coming out of it. And I remember early in the morning, it's like Airbnb, right? We had other families staying with us too. And I didn't want to scream and wake people up. But it was like at one point, 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that meant, but it was cold enough for me. I did not convert it into Fahrenheit.
I gotta look because I don't know Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did it. I was like, okay, face, hands.
Yeah, that's cold. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That's cold.
How much?
68 degrees
Fahrenheit? So that's cold?
To me, that seems cold. That's what I put my AC on.
Oh, yeah, then that's cold. All right. Well, Roger, doesn't matter. I like this because you can go to the next thing now.
Yeah. So guys, definitely you can read it down below. It says vision goes beyond current circumstances. And more, what I found was that high performers had an idea about their future, and that's what was causing the constant pull. And so when asked about their future, high performers were 7 to 9 seconds quicker in responding on what their future self looks like, or to whenever they were asked questions about their future, they were more coherent in their responses. And so, and the author goes on to talk about most people will only look at their future self once a year on New Year's Eve, right? And he invites us to spend more time looking at that. And I'm going to pause and we can talk about this at any time, but this was really also fascinating to me, that high performers typically spend 60 minutes a week thinking about their future self and worked on activities that aligned with that vision. And I'd love to hear what you guys think about that so far.
I think I relate to this last one the most.
Really?
My favorite activity is to
Think.
I love me some think time. Like I cannot physically work without thinking. Like if I have a call with Bree, I have to think about it for 5 minutes in advance. Like literally uninterrupted time before I get on a call with her to strategize anything. How is it for y'all?
Bree, you want to go first?
Well, when I'm in action, I'm in action.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm thinking, I need to think. But going from like thinking, action, I'm not as quick. Like I have to be like, okay, silence the phone, take off Ring Central, don't look at anything, think, and then action. For me, that works. But guys, you know what's really crazy about this? You know Hoda? I think that's her name. The lady from, guys, I'm butchering this. Good Morning America, right?
Okay. I don't know her, but yeah, probably.
I'm sure if you see her face, you'll know her. Okay. Anyway, she posted this thing on Instagram. That was like, go in your notes section in your phone and write what you envision for your future self. So like, and go crazy. Don't like hold back, right? So you're a New York Times bestseller. You've run a marathon. Whatever that looks like for you. Okay? Then you take it and you put it into Chat GPT and you say, create a day in the life of someone like this with your goals.
Oh.
And it breaks down what your schedule would look like
Huh.
as the first thing you do is create a story of a
Yeah.
day in the life, and that kind of tells you what your story would look like. And then it says create a schedule for that person's day. And it
Yeah.
kind of creates a little schedule for you so you can take actionable items leading up and you can really envision, okay, if I really hit all of these goals, what does my day look like?
Oh, wow.
Wow. I like ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT.
So what's fascinating about what you just said, Bree, and I did this today, was some similar to what you're talking about. So he says, go into your phone and set up notifications. First, pick 3 words that you would use to describe yourself. You know, he has a client that's experiencing a breakdown, and she's really accomplished, she's successful, she's gotten far in her career, but now she's plateaued, and he's giving her this advice on what to do. And he has 3 words that he uses for himself to make sure he's aligned at all times. And he says to go into your phone and set that in your notifications, ringing 3 times a day with like the word that you are associating with. And so I did that today, and it said, you know, you are inspiring, or let's say like, what, I forgot what my 3 were. It's so funny because I just set them up, but I guess that's,
What's your words?
yeah, I have to like look at my words again. I have them on the board, but like collaborative, caring, you know, and open-minded. These kind of words are there. But I took the exercise a step further. He says write out your relationships, and then what are the 3 things that you want the people that you love and respect you, right? What do you want them to associate? What words do they want? What words do you want them to associate you with?
I will share with you. You guys are triggering this thought in my mind. I will share with you in 2025 how I'm going about my days and starting the weeks.
Mhm.
So, the very first thing I remind myself these 3 cardinal rules, right? I learned it from one of the authors of a great book I was reading. And he said it resonated. And I was like, you know what? Does it resonate with me long enough? And it did. And I'm just reminding myself every day in the morning. I said, number 1, I'm going to surround myself with people who light up when they look at me. I want to be around people who fall in love with me and I fall in love with them, right? Because our work allows us enough exposure to the unknown that serves as a reminder to me that, hey, this is a beautiful world. I love them. They love me. Second is slow is the best way. Slow it down. Anytime, like I have an appointment and I'm about to have a strategy call, right? That's the time to go in action. But until that moment, it's all strategy. So one thing we are reading a book by Gary Kasparov, How Life Imitates Chess. He says such a beautiful thing. He said, strategy is the one thing that cannot be time bound.
Oh,
You cannot do strategy in 10 minutes. It does not, it's a tactic then. Anything that's time bound is tactic because the very nature of where strategy originates from is a place of boundless thinking. And if it is boundless, it's not going to want to be bound by time. And the last thing was the top of one mountain is the bottom of the next one. So when I realized, oh my gosh, I just made a win, I have to humble myself and remind myself that I might be starting all over again on the next call. And you understand what I'm talking about, right? Well, it's not like you put off the fire, you don't know which is the next one. So I feel like we all need to have those reminders in our own world of what we like, that makes us feel good.
yeah. Thank you for sharing that, Rosie, that your personal experience with the words that you're choosing to say to yourself, that's exactly what he says to do.
This is the one place where I hear a thank you from him. Busted.
So Bree, Rosie, I'm going to go through the 6 things that we're all told what
Huh.
we should do if we want to become successful.
Yeah.
And I want to hear what your thoughts are on a few of these, okay? And if they pertain to you and what your experience has been. So one of the things that we're told that will make us become more successful is to work hard, be passionate, focus on our strengths, practice a lot, stick to it, be grateful, And then, oh, sorry, yeah, be grateful. Those are the six. So, does any one of those resonate with you? Do you have a feeling about any of these words, or what has your experience been?
I think that to me, yes, this is exactly what people always tell us.
Mhm.
You be successful, work hard. Oh, love what you do, and you're never gonna have to work a day in your life. Oh, you got to practice, practice, practice. Keep in the game. Like these are things that you hear all the time.
Yeah.
Um, do I think that it works? Yes. Do I think that there's a limit to it? Yes.
Hmm.
I don't like any one of them.
Yeah, they don't sound fun, but
I don't
they.
like them. It sounds like a punishment. Be grateful. Well, what about the stuff I just give me some time to go back to being grateful?
It reminds me of my conversation when I didn't want to eat my food when I was growing up, and my grandma would say, there's starving children halfway around the world that don't have anything to eat, and I'm sitting there at the pile of veggies that I don't want to eat, and now I'm having to eat them, and it doesn't remind me of any pleasant experience.
Okay,
We were supposed to say don't tell your kid that because I've been telling Ella that, and I've been telling her quit wasting water because people don't have water.
Water, yeah. Oh my God, stop
you
giving.
know, I used to tell my son, I didn't, I said what he would understand. I said, son, you waste water, fish gonna die. He had more fear of fishes dying with him turning on water. And then he would tell me, Mom, don't water, fish gonna die.
I need to try that one next.
Try that.
Now, so Brandon does say that this initially will make people
So
successful.
hold on. What was the whole point of sharing all those six things?
Well, those things are what everybody's being told. So we have to first address what
Well,
we've
we've
been
been taught
told, what we've been taught.
my whole life.
We can go back and fix, like, what is there to fix if you don't, if you can't relate it to anything.
This to me equals success plus then burnout.
That's exactly what he's talking about. His
This
client,
to me sounds like all burnout and a little bit of success.
yeah, that's exactly what he's talking about. So, and then there's a few questions that he went in to ask, right? There's like four fundamental questions. And these four fundamental questions are why some succeed quickly and sustain it? Why are some miserable and some happy? Okay. What motivates higher levels of success? Which habits, training, support allow people to improve faster? And so that's really the disparity. Like he's looking at, he's like, wait, there's something that we're not being told. Why are these people over here succeeding at a high level? And then we're turning around and look at it, and these people are not having the same success. So everybody has a journal, everybody writes in their journal, everybody is introspective. But sometimes you've probably all experienced this. I know I have moments where I was highly introspective, but it wasn't translating to immediate success for me. Have y'all experienced that before in something?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And so I guess only Rosie hasn't experienced it.
No, I don't understand the question.
She's introspective.
Yeah, I'm introspective
So
right now.
you know how sometimes, especially in our realm in real estate, what do our real estate coaches tell us? They say, or I guess any industry, right, where you're having to influence decision makers, they tell us to get our reps in. They say, and then we look over and they say, make sure you journal daily, right? Like that's what leaders do. We journal, we do all this stuff, and so they're saying that regardless of all this introspection, there's still people that are succeeding at a faster pace and sustaining it. And there's other people who are experiencing burnout or never really achieving those results. And
I
I'm
think
sure,
we are sustaining it. I feel like that's something I think as a unit, all three of us have done a great job at sustaining level of it. We know very quickly when we are doing things out of our strength part very quickly. Like our team feels it right away. Like there are things that are so effortless to execute in our business and in our personal lives, and there are things that require a lot of reorientation to do it, and it feels so heavy while doing it. I think sustainability comes from doing from a place of your real strength, like something that is your unique gift, and it is effortless for us to do those things. I feel like our sustainability definitely comes from that, and I think helping people invest was one of that for us. Like, it's different when you're about investing and
Mhm.
you kind of know what investing is, but there's a whole different ball game when you can live, breathe, and demonstrate it. You know,
Yeah,
so that's, I would say, for me.
yeah, yeah. That's I feel you on that. I do see where you're coming from, and so and I guess people that I've seen that haven't reached like peers. You see peers, they're doing everything right, but they're not reaching that level of success. It's because they're still focusing on one of those six areas, right?
Oh, can I tell you? I had actually a very good friend. It's funny, I love coffee shops. So
Hmm.
I met a friend, Lawrence, that we used to when we started our career 15 years ago. And
Yeah.
he's like, I was buying a coffee and I cut it in front of him. And he looked at me and I looked at him. And I said, "Did I cut in front of you?" He said, "No, no, no, you go ahead. I'm just taking my credit card out." And I said, "I could tell it from the look." He said, "What look?" And I was like, "Man, like, I'm not telling you you're looking at me, but I'm just saying I could tell from your look that you were trying to get my attention." And he said, "Rosie, right?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Why do you look so familiar?" And we introduced each other again, and we high fived. And it's almost like the person you know so well, but you haven't seen them forever. And now our hair are different, our faces are different. And what I'm trying to get to is this, that we quickly got into a conversation of who we are today. And we both were like clicking on one thing that, sometimes in survival in the beginning, we all do things just to put food on the table. Right. And I was talking to my friends today while practicing some of our skill. And one of the things I realized is that a real human being exists beyond the survival point. So the moment survival is met, that's when we know who someone really is. So I feel like, when we meet people in a situation that is stressful, their lease is up, they have to find a property to move into. They have a house to sell and they're not sure if they can sell and buy the next one in today's market. They have gains from some property and Uncle Sam is ready for that give it to me moment, and they're looking for the next best property. There's stress, and the person we interact with in that moment is not the human being they really are. And sometimes some of my best friends are the clients who actually um, had the hardest time in the real estate world, and later on we high-fived and just clicked. And we would never believe the people we see on the closing table, right, are the people that we are sometimes dealing with during the deal making and deal closing. So I would
Yeah,
say survival needs to get out of the way quickly for all of us. Yeah.
most definitely. So, are you reading the words down below?
Yeah.
And so, roles, goals, and
Why you
performance.
asked that question?
Well, I know you are. I was hoping that you would actually read them for me when I said that, but I guess.
No, 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 no. That's not the reason you asked me to. You were wanting me to wrap up my thoughts so you can get
Oh, I heard the pause and
paid.
I realized you saw it. Come on.
I mean, 20 years. This
No, I heard you pause. That's why I put it up. That's
okay,
why I
fine,
started the conversation.
fine. Roles,
Okay,
goals, and
so
performance drivers.
roles, goals, and performance drivers. So he says what we want to do is we want to rate ourselves. And this is probably it reminds me of an earlier conversation I was having with somebody who's much more successful than I was. And he said that, you got to play the game. And you and I have heard that before, right? Play the
Oh
game.
yeah,
And you got to score yourself. And once you score yourself, then then only can you improve on those things. And
yeah,
so it kind of goes back to tracking. But I like what Brandon says that's a bit different. He allocates Sunday to this type of activity.
yeah.
So he does an hour, I think, after church or sometime in the mid afternoon, where he blocks out an hour of his time, and this way now he can kind of rate how he's been in these different. So when he's talking about roles, it's wife, husband, father, daughter, son, right? So how have I, on a scale of 1 through 10, how have I performed as a husband? And so, believe it or not, I would say this book is backed up by a lot of research too that they've done in their organization, and they found that people that are high performers tend to really think about the experience they're creating for others, not just themselves. So
Mhm.
that's one thing that separates high performers from not high performers, is that they're thoughtful.
Bree, what's your experience on that?
My experience on that? I don't know. I just never thought about that. I'm trying to think about people who, like, when you had a good experience, what did you think about that person? I'm just going back and thinking, like, okay, oh, I had a good experience with this person. Do you think that were they thoughtful? Yes. Did you feel like you were heard and listened to? Yes. Do you feel like your needs and wants were met? Maybe even if theirs weren't? Yes. And then on the flip side, okay, is that the same experience that we're creating, in
Mhm.
our day-to-day lives with others?
That's really well articulated, my
I don't
goodness.
want to add to it.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, yeah. And
Actually, on that note, I do want to add one thing. My favorite coaching moment is, like in business, real estate management, whatever you want to call it, there's always a relationship in charge and a relationship in performance, right? And I remember this coaching moment I was witnessing on the stage where they were like, hey, this is how you handle a difficult conversation with person on your team or anybody, right? And the person on the team said, hey, I'm not having a good time and I want to talk. And the person in charge is like, okay, we'll talk. And they talked, and the person got everything out. And the person in charge is like, well, hold on, this conversation is not over yet. The goal is we want to make sure by end of this call, both of us are okay.
Oh, nice.
Not just you okay and walk away. I want to make sure I'm okay too. So you don't have to stay for the part two.
That's a good one.
I thought that was hilarious. That reminds me when I was in business with my father-in-law. I think he was perfectly okay with letting me know how he felt. I don't think he was prepared to hear what I had to say ever.
That's funny.
This is Roger's funny. That's funny. I was like, you don't have a more laugh than that? It's not that.
Because no, just making me think.
I'll tell you why. Because
Father-in-laws.
father-in-law and daughter-in-law is a whole different story than a father and a son.
Yeah. So let me ask you this: what kind of experience are you looking to create for your father-in-law? 3 words.
Um, um, breakthrough thoughts.
Nothing.
No, breakthrough thoughts like mind throbbing sessions, brain throbbing, like big brainstorming sessions, and challenging the limiting beliefs in each other, and a ton of laughs, a ton of laughs.
Oh wow.
Like
It's very
amazing
conflicting,
laughs.
and it's like a pull in all directions.
Yeah, this is like, you feel that,
Limiting
my
beliefs.
brother-in-law says this so beautifully on this New Year's this year. He said, Rosie, how music is produced? And I have used that example so many times since then.
Who told
He
you this?
said, my brother-in-law,
Oh, okay.
your brother.
Mm.
Okay. So he said when somebody's playing a guitar, there's a tension in the string. The moment tension is released, that's when the
Sound.
sound
Yep.
is produced, the note is produced, right? So tension is good because the release of tension is the melody, it's the note. So I'm realizing that how many times we avoid tension, but if we can just stick in it and we learn how to release it in a conversation, imagine the beauty that comes out of it.
You know why that's a bad example?
I like that. Why? I liked it.
Because I don't know how to play guitar.
You don't know how to play guitar?
Yeah, I don't know how to play guitar.
Hmm. Let me ask you a question. Do you know how to play drums?
No.
What are the things that you play like that?
Yeah. Tapla.
Tabla, right?
Mhm.
The strings on the side are the tension.
Okay, gotcha. Well, we're practicing.
The
So
tension.
Gotcha.
oh, dang, both y'all got me.
Rosie, now you know how to use gotcha?
Yeah.
Well,
In the-
At
okay.
Coffee Social, I would tell everyone what gotcha means.
please.
It just means got you, but it's just a funny meme.
Oh, gotcha.
So, guys, we are getting to the goals that are daily, weekly, monthly, personal, business term. We are going to be meeting this Friday again. We're going to have some mind-throbbing conversation. Bree, we need to finalize our location.
And also, if you are a business person and or looking to invest in real estate, you definitely want to be at our coffee social.
Yeah.
Because
What do we talk about at Coffee Social? We talk about real life problems in real estate. Why do people own real estate? Why it's okay to sell real estate? Why is it okay to reinvest again? What are the different strategies? Like Bree, oh my gosh, can I brag on this? Last night I saw her story and I know you were working on it. You know when I don't hear from her, it means deal closed. I only hear from her when she's still hanging in the middle. $50,000 negotiated for one of our clients.
Actually, it's 68,000.
oh wow, hallelujah.
But weren't you supposed to text me that so I can just say that once?
Yeah.
By the way, guys, 68. Huh. 60, just
Awesome.
$68,000 negotiated. So when people say what value we bring to the table, that is your equity we earned for you upfront. We can hear the thank you later. So you guys don't exempt yourself from these gains. Okay, they are yours and you deserve to have all of them. So I recommend you show up at the coffee social. Let's have some fun. Let's learn and earn together and help you, not help you. We're going to demonstrate you how we are going to own more real estate and how other people are doing it before you and have succeeded at it already. So, guys, Roger, you take it away for the 6 performance drivers.
All right, cool. So look, we're gonna have this conversation, and I know that this part's really important. I think you're really gonna value this. But I wanted to just close off on the coffee social conversation. I feel like all the things that we discuss are there to improve all aspects of our life, right? There's not just it's not just one narrow aspect of life because that's not really success. In my mind, success is making sure all those big pieces are addressed: family, friends, our relationships, and our career. Or is everything moving forward, right? So just wanted to say that real quick. So there are 6 performance drivers when it comes to high performance habits. And I'm just going to list them off real quick and we can talk about them. So, first is seek clarity. And this is know thyself or really figure out why you want to do something. And Rosie and I practice this quite often in conversation. We might say stuff like, let's take 2 steps back. What's the big picture you got in mind? Okay, now tell me what brought us to this point. Why are we discussing this? And so that way we're able to really get a sense for why it's important for the other person. So always seek clarity, and leaders are able to create clarity for themselves, but also other people. Generate energy. There's a really cool statistic that he shares that 5% of the top performers, out of the 5% of top performers in an organization, 40% of them are more likely to exercise on a regular basis, like 3 times a week or something like that. So again,
Energy, generate energy.
I got lost in the percentages. It's top 5%.
Generate energy, be a transformer.
Yeah, and so you guys know this. Like,
Rosie, I can't hear what you just say.
No,
you don't want to say it?
that was the wrong word.
Oh.
Okay.
That's
All right. If you want to say it, now's the time.
generate the energy. Let's go.
You guys get generate the energy, right? Like you might go work
Be a
out.
windmill.
Huh?
Be a windmill.
The
No,
original.
you know what's true about generating energy? Let me tell y'all something.
Tell me.
We've been doing our step things, right?
Yeah.
My little desk treadmill is. I just realized the other day it only goes up to 4, speed
Mhm.
4.
Okay.
I have an insane desire to run.
Oh.
You
After
know, right? Like all of a sudden in the middle of it, you
I
feel
want
like you want
run.
to just like start jogging and running, right?
So
Yeah.
now I haven't done it because it's been a little bit late and I'm a little chicken, but I want to go out and run a little bit. Not too far at first, but I have the it's like it's not enough. The walking isn't enough anymore.
Yeah.
I have not felt tired at the end of the 10K steps ever.
No, never.
It's only before starting.
It's before starting. I don't want to do that.
Hey, this is same for real estate, guys. You're
Like, how did I go this long without doing it?
hold on, listen. Well, you know how? Because we
Without
were
generating
we were
energy.
not playing the game, we were watching the other people play the game.
Ah.
Listen, this is same for real estate. Once people start buying real estate, I have learned they buy and invest again and again. Bree, the people who buy more are the ones who have already bought it.
Yep.
The longest wait is for the people who haven't done it once.
Yeah.
If
So
they
it's
do
like
it once, it's just like walking 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
You have more energy, you're more clear, more confident. You're like, more. Let's do it again. It was so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they're also raising the necessity. So I did realize something today while I was tracking my goals from my performance yesterday and setting my goals today, that when I raised the necessity of those things that hadn't gotten checked off for a while,
Yeah.
and I think raising necessity, maybe you guys can speak on it, how it translates in your mind. But for me, it was like, okay, let's say for one example, I had to write some uh, I had to write some letters or some cards to some friends, right? Birthday cards and that sort of thing. And I was procrastinating on it. And when I looked at it, it raised the necessity because I realized their birthday's coming up, and I'm going to be too late sending out that card. And so, and then I started imagining. I said, "Is this what raising necessity looks like?" It's kind of like getting ready before a vacation, and you're throwing everything together to head to the airport. Everything gets done right before you go on a vacation.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what they mean by raising necessity. Y'all have any personal experiences around that?
To me, raising necessity sounds like a 12-week year. Like in the book, they were talking about how like at the end of the year, there's always a big push, and
Mhm.
people do more in December whenever their end of the year is. They said one of the examples was like June, and it was more.
I love what you said, 12-week year. And Brie, on that, we have a client event coming up in March. We're going to be doing a very badass client event. You know what, Brie, what I just realized?
Hmm.
How I raise a necessity in my world?
Hmm.
Put it on the calendar. Tell the other person I'm doing it, and this is when we're meeting. So drawing the line in the sand, and I'm like, man, now I'm going to have to do it. And then sometimes I'm mad. I was like, why did I get myself to do that? Like, I could have just waited. But for me, raising the necessity is when I text someone and say, 4 o'clock tomorrow, this time, everything gets done.
Wow.
Because you have a commitment.
You have a commitment. Like Brie and I were going to meet at 12 today. I think she does a really good job at too. She knows how to get my attention.
Yeah.
She has all the hacks. Somehow it just always happens effortlessly. And I see it, I was like, what? What is that? And I was like, of course it's her. I mean,
This is giving me a format. And I think this is what Brendan's trying to talk about, because he says having good single habits doesn't really move the needle. So for instance, like if I have a journaling habit and I'm still not successful, it's probably because something's off. And so seek clarity, journal, write down your thoughts, be introspective, generate energy, meaning exercise. He found that these high performers usually had a sequence, or they performed a certain way. So you're generating energy, and now you're looking at your calendar, you're raising necessity based on what's gotten done and what hasn't. And the next one is, I don't know how you would actually make this a habit, because I haven't gotten to this part in the book.
I think increased productivity is a byproduct of raised necessity.
Oh, actually, I'll tell you what he means by this. High performers know which things to work on. They know how to keep the main thing the main thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so
I'm just like, while we're working on your stuff, I have my stuff too. I said, no.
I'm gonna put in a shameless plug here, guys, for Rivet Real Estate. If you haven't yet if you haven't reached out to Bree or Rosie about investing in real estate, I highly encourage you to have that conversation now, because increasing productivity means having those conversations and gaining clarity on exactly how you're going to buy more real estate. And
No, no,
right,
no, shameless. This is not a shameless plug. Her name is right on the right hand side on the
okay,
screen.
all right, okay.
The whole time.
Hey, we have our phone numbers here. I don't know what happened to them.
Mr. Banner.
Oh, I don't know where they are.
Right? I don't know. I don't know where they went. They've been there for a long time. So develop influence. And Rosie, we can talk about this another day. I think we could take a whole 45-minute segment on
Yeah.
just developing influence. That's something that we are quite familiar with in our world.
Now, one thing I would say is that if the person on the other side does not feel heard, you don't stand a chance to have any
Let me
influence.
ask you this: developing influence for people who aren't in the military or doing, you know, missions for the government. What would developing influence, or you're not an influencer on social media, what would developing influence mean for just a regular person?
Simply to capture focus and lead focus. It's that simple. Do I have your attention? And can I lead your attention in a way that will benefit you? It's that simple.
Mm.
And it does not take place until we have an understanding of somebody's worldview. Perception is number one. I thought perception is a word that's so loosely used, but perception is a big thing. Like until I really sit down, and number one is like how certain and clear you are in your existence. Like us understanding other people's perspective doesn't mean our perspective is diminished. And most people feel the need to make a point about their perspective because somewhere there is a fear that understanding, being interested is more somehow compromising them. So they are trying to come across more interesting than being interested in the other person. So influence simply means number one, begin to understand somebody's perception first.
Wait, can I tell you something funny?
Yeah.
Yesterday, I was at this event that a builder put on for agents, and we're always used to like getting to know another person, right?
Yeah.
And they were like asking me questions, and I was like, "No, this isn't how it works. I need to ask you the question." Oh, wow, this is interesting. Someone is interested in me. This is weird. Let me find out more about them.
Hold on. After you.
I was like, this is weird to be in this position.
No, man, this is interesting. I love it. Why didn't you tell me yesterday? This is such a good spot conversation.
Not till now.
Cool.
It's
Awesome.
also for some reason causing me to think about, those sticky points that we hit in a day. Like you want someone to help you, but you're kind of seeing by their body language that they may not be interested in
Yeah,
what.
what you talking about?
Huh?
Huh? What you talking about?
Well, no, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about
I'm not talking about you. The smirk on your face.
not talking about you. I was thinking about a fast food experience. You know, where you're getting food, you got to get something, and you're not sure if they got your order right, and you can kind of see, is it influence? Because you said you described influence, and the way you described it, what is it? Knowing other person's
Capture focus and lead focus.
lead focus, right? So you don't have their focus. So simply having someone's focus, I think, could improve our quality of life substantially.
Yeah, get somebody's attention. Yeah.
Like how many times do we if we tell our kids something and they don't do it, it's probably because we didn't have their focus when we were telling them.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
That's true.
Well,
Awesome.
let's try that one too.
Yeah.
I'm trying it.
We're trying it.
I need it.
Okay, guys, the last one here is demonstrate courage. So out of those six, it's seek clarity, generate energy, raise necessity, increase productivity, develop influence, and demonstrate courage.
Raise necessity,
Raise,
generate energy.
yeah, generate energy, raise necessity.
Me for you.
Oh, you're saying top two?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I wasn't thinking about that. You needed all six of them, but we'll go with that.
what you're asking for?
Yeah,
top-
which one stuck out to you the most right now? What do you feel like you can do the most of right now?
Don't you need all of them?
Mm.
Well, that's like you guys setting up those goals that where you want to do everything. Both
Oh,
of
okay.
That's our problem.
If I
Yeah.
understand you
You're
correctly,
not trying to do too much.
she
Like you
just
want to
said
demonstrate
it's to-
courage, you want to seek clarity, you want to raise a necessity, you want to increase productivity, and you want to do one more generate. What was the fifth one? Show me the fifth one.
No, listen.
Influence.
The fifth one, develop influence. You want to do it all at once, and then track nothing. I want y'all to tell me which one is the top two for y'all.
Top two.
Maybe seek clarity and generate energy.
Okay.
Are those the only two you remembered?
Well, I just was going in order. You master two.
I like that. I like
You had
that.
another one.
Oh, very smart.
Check it, okay?
Yeah, I love it. Very smart. Gold stars. Roger, what are your top two?
Okay, so there's so many ways to look at this. Like what comes easier for me versus the areas they may need to work on. So I feel like I can raise necessity is going to be the one I'm going to be focusing on for the next few weeks, and increase productivity. Raise necessity and increase productivity.
Yeah.
And then if I want to throw a little extra in there, like season it a little more, I'll develop influence.
If you develop influence, you can try on me first.
Okay.
If it works on Rosie, it'll work
He's
on
like guinea pig.
If you can try on me and get my focus and maintain the focus, you will win in the world.
Yeah.
Because that's what I would do on him. Every time, if I can keep his attention, I have a good presentation.
Yeah.
Bree is nice. Wow, that was not a compliment.
So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and thank you. We had Maroon on the show today. Hats off to Maroon.
Hi, Varun. Good to see you, buddy.
And also all the other viewers. Thank you so much, guys. And this is a conversation that I feel like is real timely. It's the first month of the year. A lot of people set their goals, and are now needing some juice behind.
And this year we want to show you all the conversations we have behind the scenes that enables us to do more real estate together. And a lot of people think that real estate is one thing that you wake up and just turn your clock on and you run all day with it. No, it's 90% mindset and 10% results in real estate. And it goes for our people who we work with as well or partner up with together. So I would say you guys are incredible. You have incredible success in your life. If real estate can create that lever for you to make your future years easier, do it now. Talk about it now. And have fun doing
That's
it.
one thing, Rosie, that nobody talks about. When you Google or you look at how much money do I need to retire, it's a number in the millions of dollars, right? And for someone in their 30s or 40s, if you're getting started and you own a few pieces of real estate, those pieces of real estate, once paid off, are going to give you a monthly, or going to generate a monthly income for you. And not only that, they're going to appreciate. And so there's so many ways to really get ahead without having, what is it called? Sometimes you can be house poor versus, what is it? House poor versus cash rich, house rich. Do you know what I'm talking about?
House rich, cash poor.
Yeah, or versus vice versa, house poor, cash rich, right? And so I'd say own a few pieces of real estate, and then, I mean, having that total amount of money in your bank account and thinking about your retirement, I think only exasperates the whole thing, you know, and it
Yeah.
pushes your goals so much further out. But if you can pick up a few pieces of real estate and have someone else pay those pieces of real estate off, now you've gotten ahead on your goals. And so that's what I'm really passionate about. And I know Bree and Rosie, this is why we do what we do, because we
Yeah.
want people succeeding, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. Love you all. It's 2:55 p.m. on Monday. Great conversation.
Good day.
Love you all. Take care. Bye.
Bye.